Okay, great. Next email is Jerry Lipton. So, like a lot of people, I was watching the Super Bowl for the commercials, and I saw one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. A Bud Light commercial mixed in with a Game of Thrones commercial. I wasn't sure what I was looking at. Anyway, I've been thinking about it ever since, so my question is, was this stupid or brilliant? I can't decide.
Rob, this commercial came on. What did you think of it?
First of all, I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, I get it. It looked like a standard medieval Bud Light commercial, and then the mountain shows up. Yeah. And what is it, Clegane, Gregor Clegane Bowl? They keep talking about when the two Cleganes will meet to fight, which we have yet to see. I just thought, what mad genius came up with this idea? Like, somebody at the ad agency at Bud Light said, I've got an idea. The Game of Thrones Season 8's coming out. They haven't even released a real trailer. They've only released a promo. Let's do can you imagine, like, the higher-ups at Budweiser, at Anheuser-Busch, or I guess Stella Artois, whoever owns whatever, can you imagine them being pitched this idea? What if we called up HBO and turned our Bud Light Super Bowl ad into a Game of Thrones promo? Like, did they both pay for it? I was watching it, I'm like, I just want to know the story behind how it got made. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant because it was so unexpected. And then I immediately went back to find out, is this on YouTube? And watched it again. And I'm like, I don't even like Bud Light, but kudos to them, because this was the wackiest commercial I think I've ever seen. And the fact that it was one commercial, then morphed into another commercial for a product that has nothing to do with Bud Light. I will forever think of Game of Thrones and Bud Light in the same sentence. And I don't like that. I'm going to do that. But I am doing it, so kudos to them.
I'm not a beer drinker. But I like this Bud Light campaign.
Yeah.
Like the Dilly Dilly and the King and all that kind of stuff. And I thought the commercial was even cute before we got to the mic, because even up there, like the King sitting in his throne is like, I've got my Bud Light, my lucky loincloth, and I don't have the plague anymore. I'm like, this is great. And then they got the Bud Knight doing his thing. And then, he gets knocked off his horse, and the guy walks over, and the other knight comes in frame, and I'm like, that's the mountain. And then he leans down like he did to Oberyn and crushes his face. And then I think the shot of the commercial, it cuts to the Dilly Dilly guy going, ah, like screaming his head off. And then the dragon comes. And Rob, for the last 14 hours, I still don't know if that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen or the absolutely, bar none, the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. And it's probably somewhere in that midst of madness in between. And I tweeted right away. If you go back on my Twitter feed, I tweeted right away. It's like, what did I just see? Like, the Game of Thrones Budweiser crossover. And I wrote, are Super Bowl ads so expensive that these giant companies have to go halvesies on a spot? But hey, we're here talking about it. I was just floored. The dragon comes and starts burning everybody.
I just wish I could see somebody. I wish somebody makes a documentary on how this got made, because I can only imagine, like, you had to call HBO. Not only with the Anheuser-Busch
unless it was
dudes,
HBO's idea.
Unless it was HBO's idea, but I can't imagine trying to get any client, if you've ever worked in advertising, trying to get a client to buy off on an idea is hard enough. But getting two disparate clients that have nothing to do with each other, and try and get them to buy off on this, how did it get done? What mad genius. If you get a Clio, somebody deserves a Clio award for this one, because I thought it was phenomenal, but mostly because I've worked in advertising before, and I'm like, this was amazing. I don't know how it got done, but it's great.
You know what video I want to see badly now? Do you remember when the Red Wedding happened?
Oh, they even played the Reigns of, they played the song, The Reigns of Castamere.
Yes.
In this commercial. And that was the first time I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the, what? And then the mountain shows up.
But what I want to see, because when the Red Wedding happened, the internet, YouTube got flooded with these reaction videos of people watching this for the first time, like people who hadn't read the books and didn't know what was about to happen.
Me,
to Red Wedding.
I screamed and fell off my couch onto my knees, like fell off. I was like, ah! Like,
Did you cry?
Yeah. Oh my God, it is so intense.
But all those reaction videos, which are, by the way, if you have not looked up these reaction videos on YouTube, you've got to look these up because they're hilarious. But I want one of those. I want one of those reaction collages of people watching this Bud Light commercial for the first time and then going, what? I want to see that badly. I don't know. Look, here we are. You know what it is? Here's the thing. No one's talking about the Endgame trailer.
Well, the thing
The
is,
whole planet is talking about this stupid, ridiculous Bud Light commercial that might be the greatest stroke of genius of all time.
well, what's amazing is the commercial ends with Game of Thrones April.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't end with like some. I think it doesn't end with Bud Light.
No,
It ends with Game of Thrones April. I'm like, again, look, I always say that we live in wondrous times.
Yes,
'cause
we do.
everything we get. This is why, because somebody did something this cool that's this cockamamie wacko, and it gets made, and it gets on the Super Bowl, and somebody paid millions of dollars to put it in front of us. Good on them.
And all I can say to all of that is dilly dilly. Well done, guys.